of rules. It is a book of principles. I've heard people that say, I don't want to go to a church that's just got rules. Well, what about coming to a church that's got some principles? Because this book is a book of principles. And you've got to live your life by principles. You've got to have certain principles in your life. And the principles always enforce the rules. And where there is no rules, there's chaos there. If there's no boundaries and there's no walls, there could be no building. If there was no ditches, there would be no roads. Everything has the boundaries and the rules that we must follow, because that's what gives us direction. You won't get to Jackson unless you hit that road out there. But notice on both sides there's ditches, because there's a designated boundary and there's a designated rule that you've got to follow to get to a certain destination. I want you to see you'll what? If you knock, it shall be open to you. There are rules and principles that must be adhered to. Now, there's a rule for the home. How many know? How many's ever has raised children, okay? There's rules for the home. There's no home that doesn't have rules. Because you show me a home that doesn't have rules, and I'll show you a place that is chaotic beyond description. How many of you mamas and dads had to set some rules in the house? Huh? If you don't clean your room, rule. Amen. You're not going out. The principle is you got to obey somebody in life. That's the principle. And if you don't teach them that they got to obey somebody in life, you're fixing to raise an Adolf Hitler Jr. That's what you're going to raise. Hello, somebody. There's some rules, my friend. You don't come and go when you want to. There's a curfew. If you've got a home somewhere along the way, you can't let little Susie go out and stay all night with whosoever she wants to. There's some rules that's got to be laid down. How many of you parents know that? That is rules that's got to be. You know why? Because there's a principle behind it. Because I want my daughter to stay pure. I want my daughter to stay clean. I don't want my daughter to be defiled or my son to get hooked on cocaine. Amen. I believe a man and a woman should be the couple. Not a man and a man. I believe homosexuality is a sin. And we need to declare it as a sin. It's so sad to me to see mainline denominations having their conferences now. And you can read that they're openly discussing the gay issue. And they're struggling. They should never be a struggle. While there's preachers and clergymen and Christians anywhere that's got the rules and the principles behind the rules, the Bible called it an abomination. And anywhere in the Bible it says an abomination, honey, that abomination doesn't change. It was abomination then, it's abomination now, and it'll be abomination forever. 16 years old. Matter of fact, I don't really think she should date before 16. And if she does at 16, she needs to have another couple or send little brother with them. That'll take care of it. Oh, boy, that's going to get it. Don't worry. Now, they'll hate him the rest of his life, but he'll be amen, he'll be right there, because nothing gets by those little eyes. Do not let that child date. And when they get past 16, 17, 18, you have a curfew. You're going to be in this house. And I don't mean sitting in a car outside either. A lot of things go in a car out front of a house. You make them in the house, on the couch, with a Bible between them. With a prize. I'm plowing deep. If we ever get that revelation, we are going to be changed people. You can be seated. We are going to be changed people. The body is a temple of God, and as such should be treated with reverence and respect. God will not dwell in an unclean temple. That's double A. God will not dwell in an unclean temple. When immorality occurs, it is as if you are performing that action in the house of God. You're talking about powerful? That means if your body's a temple of God, and you go out and perform an immoral act, it's just like you performed it in the house of God. Now, would you perform an immoral act here at the altar in the house of God? No, my God, I'd never do that. Well, know ye not your body is a house of God. Woo, my God, did anybody catch that? Your body is a house of God. And if your body is a house of God, it's as though you committed the immoral act Oh, God, help us, Lord. Help us, Lord.